Hello everyone, this is Priya Karvaria and I am going to give a seminar presentation on the topic resilient structure and disaster management. So moving to the very first slide, which is table of content, and it includes introduction, the importance of resilient structures, the role of resilience, principles for designing resilient structures, the importance of selecting appropriate building materials, disaster resilient communities for sustainable development, challenges in implementing resilient structures, government policies and initiatives, and the last case studies. So moving to the introduction part, resilient structure. So basically, resilient structures are the structures that are designed and constructed to withstand from various man-made and natural disasters. And disaster management involve planning, coordinating, and implementing measures to mitigate impact of natural or any man-made disasters. Some examples of resilient structures are there. First one is Taipei 101 skyscraper, which is world largest and heaviest tuned mass damper present in Taiwan. Tuned mass damper reduce the amplitude of vibration to an acceptable level whenever strong lateral force or any earthquake hit the building. Second one is Hoover Dam, which is present in USA, Colorado River, and its purpose is power flood control and water storage. Next is importance of resilient structure in disaster management. So resilient structure and disaster management go hand in hand to reduce the impact of disasters on people and their property by providing protection of lives, reduce injuries, preservation of critical infrastructure, economic resilience, community resilience, environmental benefit, disaster recovery, and safety of first responders. Next is the role of resilience in reducing the impact of disasters. So, resilient structure plays very important role in disaster management by preparedness and early warning system. Communities which have a strong disaster preparedness plan and early warning system can respond more. Building and infrastructure resilience, community resilience, education and awareness, adaptive capacity, community that can adapt to changing circumstances during and after disaster are better equipped to minimize the impact. Next is principles for designing and constructing resilient structures. So, the design should be adaptive. Design the structure that can adapt to changing conditions such as climate change and evolving disaster risk. Multi-hazard approach. A building should be able to withstand from multiple potential hazards when designing structure. Building codes and standard, foundation and soil analysis. It should be ensured that the foundation is designed to handle the local soil condition and potential seismic activities. Flexible material that can absorb and dissipate energy during disasters, such as seismic resistant material for earthquake. Redundancy means there should be a backup in a place. If one component fail in a structural system, there should be a backup. And the next there are some example of resilient structure. First is flood resilient houses, and second one is resilient building structure. Moving to the next slide is the importance of selecting appropriate building material for resilience. Selecting appropriate building material for resilience is crucial to ensure that a structure can withstand disaster, minimize damage, and support quick recovery. Materials should provide structural integrity, structural stability, and strength, which is essential to withstand forces from natural disasters like earthquake, hurricane. Durability, materials should provide durability. Material should be provide resistance to moisture so that they are suitable in flood prone areas. Fire resistant and insulation. Proper insulation materials can maintain a comfortable indoor temperature during extreme weather conditions. Next is disaster resilience communities for sustainable development. So disaster resilient community for sustainable development have main focus on disaster preparedness, disaster response, disaster rehabilitation and recovery, and disaster prevention and mitigation. Next is challenges implementing resilient structure and disaster management. So there are many challenges. First is lack of awareness. In some regions, people may not fully understand the importance of resilient structure due to lack of knowledge. And lack of awareness. Next is environmental consideration. Balancing resilience with environmental concern can be challenging. Rapid urbanization, which can lead to unplanned and haphazard construction, making it difficult to implement disaster resilient building practices. Infrastructure challenges, education and training. There may be a lack of skilled professionals who understand how to design and construct resilient structure. Next is government policies and initiatives related to disaster management and resilient structure. So governments mainly focus on disaster preparedness, response, recovery and mitigation. Some rules are there: building codes and standards, zoning, land use regulation, risk assessment and mapping, resilience incentives, climate change adaptation strategies. So moving to the case study. So first case study 1, the location of the case study is Gujarat, India, specifically focusing on the Bhuj earthquake of 2001. The Bhuj earthquake had a profound impact on the region, revealing vulnerabilities in existing structures and the need for earthquake resistant construction. Case study focuses on Bhachao village. Bhachao village was chosen as the focal point due to its significant representation of the earthquake impact and the implementation of resilient construction method. Resilient construction in Bhachao involved the strategic use of reinforced concrete and meticulous foundation design to withstand with seismic forces. The resilient construction in Bhachao demonstrated a notable reduction in damage, emphasizing its effectiveness in enhancing structural integrity during earthquake. Key lesson learned from the Bhachao case study includes the importance of prioritizing resilient construction in seismic prone areas for long-term structural sustainability. In conclusion, the Bhachao case study underscores the critical role of resilient construction in mitigating the impact of earthquake, offering a blueprint for future projects to enhance the structural resilience. Next is case study 2. The case study is centered in Chennai, India, focusing on the significant flood that occurred in 2015. The Chennai flood of 2015 resulted from heavy monsoon rain, causing widespread flooding and highlighting the urgent need of resilient flood management strategies. The Chennai Resilient Strategies was implemented to comprehensively address flooding issues, presenting a strategic approach to tackle the aftermath of heavy monsoon rains. Flood mitigation infrastructure, including retention pond and green infrastructure, form the backbone of resilience strategy. Retention ponds played a crucial role in managing excess water during heavy rainfall, contributing significantly to flood control. Green infrastructure, integrated natural element into urban planning, serves as an eco-friendly approach to enhance flood resilience. In conclusion, the Chennai Resilience Strategy showcased its effectiveness in mitigating flooding issues, offering valuable lessons and a model for other regions facing similar challenges. Next is the case study is set in New Zealand, focusing on the Christchurch earthquake that occurred from 2010 to 2011. The seismic activity during 2010 and to 2011 in Christchurch had a significant impact on the region's infrastructure, prompting a need for resilient design. The Christchurch Central Library serves as a case study highlighting innovative seismic design in the face of earthquake. Innovative seismic designs incorporated with a focus on a base isolation and other advancement. Base isolation was a critical component of the library design, minimizing the impact of seismic forces and ensuring the structural stability. In conclusion, seismic resistant features were integrated into the library's design to enhance its ability to withstand earthquake. And the last is case study 4, which is set in Istanbul, Turkey, and it is focusing on Izmit earthquake, which happened in year 1999, highlighting the cultural and historical importance of the Grand Bazaar in Istanbul, emphasize the need to safeguard and preserve such structure against seismic risk to maintain cultural heritage. Define the objectives of retrofitting, preserving cultural heritage while ensuring structural resilience against earthquake. Conclusion: inform future endeavors in retrofitting historic structure for seismic resilience, contributing to a growing body of knowledge. The success of the Grand Bazaar retrofitting project stressed the significance of resilient structure in preserving cultural heritage amid seismic challenge, encouraging further exploration in the field. Thank you.